I'm joined by Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic. President Bostic, thanks for joining us this morning.
Really good to be here, Steve. Good to see you again.
Good. I want to start where Andrew kind of tossed to me this issue of inflation. Almost all the metrics that we follow have come in hotter than expected, and especially the Federal Reserve and you as well talk a lot about inflation expectations, and University of Michigan inflation expectations coming in at 4.6% for the next year. Does all of this cause you any concern?
So let me just say there are two things to say on this. First, we expected a lot of volatility and inflation in the next couple of months. We know that last year was not very strong in terms of inflation. So as we come out of the pandemic and into recovery mode, we know that the numbers are just going to look large. So that's there. We also know that with all the relief money that's in families' hands, we've got pent-up demand, and that's going to put upward pressure on prices as well. And then, of course, you have the supply disruptions and all those sorts of developments that are also putting upward pressure on prices. So that is all known. For me, I'm really trying to sort through all of this to figure out, as we go through this transition, what are going to be temporary or transitory effects, and then which ones are going to be more structural that will be enduring. I think it's going to be hard to know that for sure in the next couple of months as we start to sort things out, as people figure out how they're going to engage in the marketplace and in the labor market.
I think that's an interesting answer. So can you maybe give us a gauge as to when, if this higher than expected inflation hangs around, when you might have some concern that you've moved from transitory into more permanent?
Well, I actually think through the whole summer, we're going to see a lot of change in terms of how people engage in the marketplace, how consumers engage, and also how employers do as well. So what we're going to do at our bank is we're going to be out talking to business leaders. We'll be talking to consumers to get a sense of what they're doing, what they're seeing. Do they think the things that they're experiencing in the next couple of months are going to have long legs? Or are they things where they actually see an end point? Because if they see an end point and they're not really going to do things that are going to be fundamentally different than where they were pre-pandemic, that's not something that we have to respond to. So I don't think we're going to have clear answers on this, at least until early fall, and it may take longer than that. A lot of it depends on how rapidly we recover.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.